Welcome to the Live Free, Love Life podcast, where we discuss how to create more freedom so we can love our lives no matter what we're going through. Hello. Welcome to Live Free, Love Life. Today, we're going to talk about how to actually make decisions so that we are not limiting our freedom. We make countless decisions every single day, most without even realizing it. What to wear, what to eat, how to respond to someone, whether to speak up or stay silent. Our lives unfold based on the path created by each choice. Yet, with so many options and potential outcomes, decision making can become overwhelming. We suffer from analysis paralysis, trying to identify the right choice, or we avoid deciding altogether to escape regret. But not making decisions limits our freedom and prevents us from forging the life we desire. So today, we're going to explore how to approach decisions from an empowered mindset so you can take inspired action, continue moving forward, and create the life you want. So first, let's talk about the drain of decision fatigue. Our prefrontal cortex, the part of our brain responsible for higher order thinking, has very limited capacity, as we talked a lot about last week. According to neuroscientist Sandra Chapman, we only have the ability to make about 70 to 100 decisions per day before reaching decision fatigue. Each time you try to make that same decision, but don't really make a decision, you use decisions from your decision bank, leaving way less decisions available for every part of your day and every other part of your life. Once mentally drained, we start opting for easier choices that may not align with our goals. Decision-making feels impaired. The mere prospect of choosing becomes unappealing, so we avoid it altogether. Think about snacking late at night, for example. It makes perfect sense that you do this if your decision bank is empty by that time of day. And one of the reasons it may be empty is because you're not using that decision bank effectively. This is why decluttering and streamlining is so liberating. Another thing we talked about last week. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and listen to last week's episode. Every non-essential item or obligation we eliminate frees up precious mental resources for the choices that truly matter. Be ruthless in questioning everything to pare down to just the essentials. So here are 3 ways that not deciding limits your freedom. There are 2 ways you are making decisions. The first is when you indulge in indecision and you keep delaying the choice you are aware of. The second is when you just live your life on default, not making conscious decisions or living out decisions you made ages ago without redeciding if that's still what you want. We're going to talk about both of those and how not deciding limits your freedom. So freedom limit number 1, unmade decisions take up a lot of time, and time is your most precious resource. Time spent thinking, time spent researching, time spent hashing it out. This is time you will never get back. And it's also time you can't spend on something else that is important to you. So when we just keep not making a decision, we are taking away our resources that could be spent on other things. And we limit our freedom to go after those things because we aren't giving them the time or the energy that they need because we're spending it all not making this decision. Freedom limit number 2. Unmade decisions take up a lot of brain space because it's always there nagging at you, reminding you that you need to make a decision. This is brain space that you could be using to create your best life. Not deciding takes away from all other areas of your life. So just like it takes away our time, which is our most valuable resource, it also takes away your brain space. Think about when your brain just feels like it's so full that it might actually explode. Anyone with me on this? When your brain is just full of so many things and you start to feel really scattered because you have all these things taking up space in your brain and your brain is not functioning at optimal capacity. Your brain is not available to do a lot of the things that you want to do in the world because it's so clogged up with all these other things. And some of those things are these unmade decisions. They're just sitting in your brain. Freedom limit number 3, when we don't make decisions, maybe because we're feeling anxiety or exhausted, we fail to take the next step in designing our lives. Days slip by in passive inaction instead of purposeful creation. Opportunity cost builds as options narrow over time. While choosing entails risk, not deciding has a guaranteed opportunity cost of 100%. As Jim Rohn says, not making a choice is still making a choice. Defaulting to what's comfortable limits your potential growth. When you don't make decisions you want to make, and when you don't make decisions at all because you're living your life on default, you limit the life you're able to create and the person you're able to become. So, how do we actually start just making the decisions? I've broken it all down for you. Step 1, stop trying to predict outcomes. Most decision delay comes from fixating on potential outcomes, which we can never accurately foresee. We imagine best and worst case scenarios, trying to identify the right choice that guarantees success. But we have very little control over outcomes. We can only control our input through thoughtful, values-aligned decisions. We cannot control the future. We cannot see the future. We have no idea how this decision is going to play out. But when we can make that decision from an aligned place, the rest just unfolds organically. Allow yourself to let go of predicting and manipulating outcomes. This is a waste of time. It is a waste of brain energy because we cannot do it. Stay focused on your intentions. And that leads us to step 2. Since you can't control outcomes, make choices based on identity, not potential effect. So decide based on who you want to be. Ask yourself questions like, who do I want to be in this situation? What personal values and qualities feel most important? What would the best version of me do? Making decisions through the lens of desired identity frees you from fixating on results. The outcome simply reveals new information to build the person you wish to become. Step number 3, trust your intuition. In the face of complexity and uncertainty, often your intuition provides the clearest guidance. Mental analysis can only take you so far. Once you've reflected thoughtfully, listen to your inner wisdom. According to Gary Klein's research, experienced decision makers rely on intuition more than pure logic. The struggle comes from overthinking and doubting our intuition. Have the courage to honor it. And step number 4, make more decisions. Examine your daily life piece by piece and redecide everything one at a time. Is this still the time you want to get up in the morning? Is this the morning routine you want to follow? Is this the exercise you want to be doing? Is this the way you want to parent? Is this what you want your relationship to look like? Is this the kind of wife, mom, partner, friend, employee, coworker, fill in the blank? Is this the kind of fill in the role you want to be? Is this the job you want to be doing? Now, these are just examples. You're going to come up with lots because you're going to start examining your daily life as you look at all the things that you do and that you just come in doing on default. For each question, follow it with why or why not. Get really clear. Just because you decided something a long time ago doesn't mean you have to keep that decision today. Making more decisions means making more intentional decisions. Stop indulging in indecision, which saps all of our brain energy and it saps out our decision bank. But make more intentional decisions because those give you more freedom to live the life you want, to create the life you want, to be the person you want to be, to show up how you want to show up in the world. Making intentional decisions is how we do that. So we want to decrease the amount of indecision and increase the amount of conscious intentional decision. So here are some questions to consider. The first ones are about decisions in general. What decisions are you not making and why? How are those unmade decisions limiting your freedom? And what would it take to just decide? Now, here are some questions when you are making decisions. How much of your time is this decision worth? Now, give yourself only that much time to decide. You don't need 16 hours to research a new refrigerator. Is it really worth that much? Time, your very most precious resource, is it worth 16 hours? Maybe not. Give it an ounce of time. Decide how much time that decision is worth. Give yourself that time to think, to research, to whatever, to talk it through, and then make the decision. period. Number 2, who do you want to be in this situation? And what decision is most in line with that? Number 3, what decision moves you closer to your goals? And remember, you're considering all these different options. If they all move you towards your goals, maybe it doesn't matter which one you choose. Just choose one. Number 4, what are you so afraid of? What is stopping you from making this decision? And number 5, if you knew it would work out beautifully, no matter what you choose, what decision would you want to make? Now, here's what I want you to remember. You cannot make a wrong choice. When aligned with your values and intuition, no choice you make is ever wrong. At worst, you get the outcome you don't prefer. But failure is impossible. You either get what you want or you gain priceless insight. Both are progress. You can be happy and successful with any choice you make because this is created by your thinking, not by the outcome. It only becomes a wrong decision when you decide to think it was a wrong decision, which is completely optional, no matter what the outcome was. If that decision was made from an aligned place, why would you dishonor yourself by telling yourself it was wrong after the fact? It wasn't wrong. It just didn't go the way you thought it would. This is a thought error that we want to be aware of. Rather than judging your past choices, reflect on what you learned. Mentally congratulate yourself for having the courage to decide at all. Even temporary detours lead you where you need to go. The path of indecision leads nowhere, but the path of intuition, identity, and values holds endless potential for growth. Perfection is impossible. Foreseeing the future, impossible. Controlling the outcome, impossible. But inspired action always creates meaning. Your destiny unfolds one empowered choice at a time. Just decide. Stop letting indecision limit your freedom. Live free, love life. Thank you for watching this episode of Live Free, Love Life. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to like, comment, and share. See you next time.